on TV, movies, shows, and video games called UNCaped, where we bring you topics and debates, hot takes, and so much more. And we got a great show lined up for you today. We'll be talking about the return of Static Shock, the premiere and finale of Wonder Man. So spoilers will be included, the Daredevil trailer, and so much more. But before we get to all that, let's introduce our other host, man. Bluejack, what it do?
What's good with you, Bob? How y'all feeling, man? Hey, great week, feeling good, excited for the pod, and I'm ready to get into it. I got energy. Y'all know how I do. I come with the energy, man.
That's what's up, man. And then we got the OG in the building, and I know he's excited to talk about the show Beauty. And even though we don't know too much on it, I'm telling y'all, Unc gonna put us on, man. Photog, what's good with you, man? How you doing?
What up, man? Yo, yo, this is a smooth operator. You know what I'm saying? Galactus Photog. Y'all, listen, we got a good show lined up, man. Can't wait to go ahead and tap into everything that we got. Y'all, lock in. Let's go.
All right, we're gonna start off with the booming news that's been spreading like wildfire across the comic book space, all over Comic Talk, which is the return of Static Shock. Now we knew some of the milestone characters were already gonna come back and make a return sometime, but we didn't know it was gonna be this soon, and we didn't know it was gonna be Static Shock in the newest DCKO tie-in event that just happened. I think it's called All Kids Fight or All
Yep.
Kids in the Fight, something like that. But we'll be
The
talking
kids are
about it
on fight. Yep.
right now. So if you haven't read the book, here's your spoiler warning. Get up out of here, go read that joint, come back and have a great conversation with us. Let us know in the comments, how do you feel about Static's return? Now, Blue Jack, I'm not even gonna lie. I think the day before, he was like, "Hey, listen, if y'all didn't get this book, get it." And I ain't gonna lie, Blue Jack be having big shout out Comic Connections, his LCS man. He
Tap
put
in.
us on and he was like, "Hey, listen, I'm not gonna spoil it for y'all." And I know it must have been hard holding that information in, bro. But tell us about it when you first seen it.
So I'm chilling in the LCS on I think it's Monday or Tuesday. I'm chilling in the LCS and I open the book and I'm reading it. And my LCS, the owner, he's like, "Yo, something crazy happens, but I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna look at your face when you get there." So I'm reading the book. I'm like, this is pretty calm, nothing crazy happening. A bunch of John can't get to that ending. And I see Static's foot with the electricity. Before I even turn the page, I look up. I'm like, there is no way I'm about to see what I'm about to see. And you get that full page of Static back in the main DC universe, man, main continuity, bro, the joy I felt, because it felt like, to me, DC, Zack Snyder, they're listening. They understand what we want. But at the same time, they putting the ball in our court. They saying, "Hey, we gonna supply a little bit, but you got to show us with your wallet that you want more and you want consistency. And if you ain't gonna do that, then hey, sometimes it is gonna be what it is." But the ball's in our court now, and I was over the moon about it. Y'all know my reaction. I couldn't wait for us to talk about it. I couldn't wait for the net to see Static back, man, because I knew it would be a lot of negatives, positives, all kinds of thoughts. But yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy, man. One of the cornerstones of our people, man, Static. He just
And
showed up, man.
and as we're talking in the group chat, right? I'm not even gonna lie. Photog put me on to something. Still haven't seen the documentary. If anyone could tell me where I could watch Milestone Generation, let me know in the comment section. I looked on almost every platform. He requested it was a must-watch documentary about these characters. But Photog, like you said in the chat, I want you to explain to the audience why this isn't as cut and dry as some people may think it is.
So, first of all, you know what I'm saying? As far as let's start off with Milestone itself as a company. Um, or let's go back a little bit. Let's take we'll get into Milestone, but we're talking about Static's return, right? I seen a lot of people upset about how he's coming back, and I'm also upset about the representation as far as like brown representation in comics. Now, with Static coming back, it's not so much as a why DC has not put Static in the comic books. that has a lot to do with Milestone. Okay,
Mm.
those characters are legally owned by Milestone. Like, so hardware, static, you know what I'm saying? You got icon, all those characters, Blood Syndicate, all of them, right? They're all owned by Milestone. So that's intellectual property that they couldn't really put out there unless they fixed an issue that happened with the Milestone debacle. Like, honestly, so now I'm gonna go back to who Milestone is. Now you're gonna say, well, who's Milestone? You know what I'm saying? So Milestone essentially was created by a group of brown individuals for the sake of bringing more brown characters to the limelight. That's pretty much why they were created. They didn't see a lot of representation. So these black creators that worked on previous books before, the artists, writers, and everyone else, they said, let's kind of bring our resources together as black people, right? As brown people, which to me is a great idea, But what happens is when you have a sister, well, a mother company, because it's really kind of a mother company, not really a sister company. Sister company is not equity. It's not equitable. So I just kind of want to make that clear. You have a company that has an umbrella. Underneath that umbrella is DC, okay? Underneath that umbrella are their subsidiaries. So you got one of them being Milestone at the time. So there was a lot of issues within Milestone's camp with DC. The way they were actually being managed, promoted, marketed, all the things, the resources, they didn't have the same resources everybody else had. Okay, so of course that would cause friction with the creative team, with the corporation that they're essentially working for, even though they have their own business, they have their own publishing, which is Milestone. But again, under DC, in order for them to really kind of make moves, they had to kind of position themselves underneath an already established company. So what that does is it takes away a lot of opportunities for the this creator owned company to actually make motion within the industry, essentially. Because again, you have to remember they're making solely black characters. Now I'm gonna change that to brown because again, there's a lot I have to say about black and brown, but I don't like the term black because black is a color that's very dark and no one's that color. It's brown. I digress. I'm gonna say this for comic books, but as
One
far
of
as
my
brown
brothers is black.
representation, with brown characters, that's really all they had in their comic books. So when we talk about marketing out to the to brown people, and there was a number one, it was during the 90s where it booms, like Marvel and was controlling everything. Marvel essentially was controlling everything. You did have Image coming in and you did have DC, but really Marvel was really tearing up butt. You know what I'm saying? So now you have these characters that don't really live in either of those spaces, none of those spaces. Image, DC, and Marvel being brown characters. They were very limited. But now you have a sole company. Their whole agenda was to introduce these brown characters to the masses.
Mm.
How tough is that?
Yep.
How tough is that to actually produce these books and have them in the hands of the masses, not just the people that look like them, but the masses.
Mm-hmm.
So the counterparts, not having to buy books that are just brown people, there's a lot that goes into that. I know a couple of different creators kind of mentioned the reason as to why you have their counterparts can't see themselves as black characters, so forth and so on. So that has a lot to do with it. But initially, that's what Milestone was created specifically for, was to bring brown characters into the limelight along with their counterparts.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting road that a lot of creators have to travel down because it's like I understand what people want, right? Everybody wants a static ongoing series right now. Like, oh, he's back. Give it to me right now. But I think static being a part of the Titans, new Titans team moving forward is gonna feed generations because my God, that's an excellent recruitment if you can get him in the Titans. And I kind of like the cast and the people that they have in that team already. They got old boy's son. Yeah, that team right there. Look, come on, y'all can't tell me they ain't tough. You got John, you got Star Girl, you got
We
my
got we
God,
got 4 black characters in the book. Four,
four of them.
four.
And what's Batgirl? Is she like Asian or something?
Uh, she's a mix. She's white and like Middle Eastern. I think her Talia is like Middle Eastern. So she's not really black, no.
Man,
But
but
she's brown. She's brown.
yeah,
But
she brown. But look at the diversity in that cast right there.
exactly.
Like y'all can't have too much to cry about, to be honest. And then you're getting
I
static
agree.
back in the. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna feed generations. I think the new Titans run got me excited to read Titans again.
Mhm.
And DC has been doing a good job. Like they lured me back in with Absolute Batman. Right? Is one of the hottest books of last year and the year before. Right? But now all the stuff they're doing is taking my attention off that. Cause now I'm realizing, okay, yeah, Absolute is fire. But wait, they got Static back in the Teen Titans. Let me go check out what Teen Titans is doing now.
Hmm.
Now it got me going back, like, oh, how did they get here? Now I'm sitting here fishing for that. So I think everybody, I don't want to say has a hive mind or thinks the same way, but a lot of people are gonna follow that same path. Like, okay, Static's back. Let me check the Titans run now. So marketing wise, I think this was a phenomenal idea by DC. I think it's gonna do wonders for their Titans push, and eventually we will get that Titans run. Now I gotta ask y'all too, right? We got one milestone character in. When do you think we'll see the man, Icon? Because I know
So
everybody be praising Static, but
here,
Yeah.
here's
Icon
the
is
thing,
my
though.
guy, bro. When do you think we'll see him? And
Here's the
where?
thing. Here's the thing with that. We've already seen them being introduced in Batman Static Beyond. I think that was the intro to those characters that people did not know. And the people that did know to get excited about it. To say, okay, I want to see more. So I don't think it's going to take very long for them to be introduced. I think what this was is this was a way for them to reintroduce Static in a way where now everyone can read it. Because I think when Blue, when you showed that pitch, the book itself, the book is called "The Kids All." I think it's what is it
The
called?
kids are all fight.
The kids are all fight. So which
Yep.
means you know what I'm saying, like they don't, they not just barking, they out there doing their thing too. But I think what happens is that actually book was more of a it was more of a, I couldn't say a mature book. It was more of an intro to anybody to be able to read this and now associate those characters to specific other parents or even Static.
There
Now
you
you're
go.
introducing a younger audience to
There
who
you
Static
go.
is.
There
I
you
think
go.
it was a perfect play. I don't think it was anything wrong with the way they brought him in. It was a strategic move to introduce that character to a younger audience because even with the older audience, they're gonna read it because it's a DC book, right? It has all the DC characters. So they're more, but it's more so geared toward that. So that way now they can expand now. They have more room to navigate the whole space of the DC, this all in situation. So I think that's gonna be soon. But we already seen it. We already seen all of them in Batman Static
Is
Beyond, and that
Batman
was
and Static like in the main continuity, just
No.
in the
no.
future? It's
No.
It's
not.
not. Yeah,
So
it's
we
just
haven't
it's a
seen
whole
them in the
different book.
main continuity yet.
In a
No.
long time yet.
Yeah,
All
but
right, so that's what I'm hyped for. Now I gotta ask y'all a question, right?
mhm.
DCKO overall, big week for it, right? We had a couple of books, tie-ins, especially Superman 34, I believe.
It's
Um,
prime time, baby. Yes, sir.
I want to get to that before we move on, since we already talked about DCKO a little bit, right? Superman 34 was pressure, and like I said again, now it got me. DCKO has been such a hit in the park for me. Like DC, if y'all don't adapt this until at least an animated movie, y'all completely dropped the ball, man, because this is such a great event. Prime. So now we already know what happens with Prime. Spoilers, if you don't know, towards the end of the DCKO event, he will be the main Superman of the Superman title, and I just found it ironic, right? And I don't want to be an echo chamber because I also seen somebody else say it, but I think the ironic part of that book, you had a cyborg teaching him how to be human, and and how to like channel those feelings, which why I thought that was really interesting. Like he's getting this type of knowledge and speech from a cyborg, from
But
Cyborg Superman.
his idol, his idol has always been Superman. Those cyborgs are essentially Superman. That's what they show you that in the book. They have his memories, and that one is the closest one to Superman. So he's essentially talking to his idol that's not there at the moment. and playing back because he's been through so much. He's been a bad guy. He's been a good guy. He's been in and out. We've seen it at the beginning when he fake flip sides to the Legion, right? To do what he did. And Superman was like, so you're seeing character growth, but you're also seeing him realize and stand up and be like, okay, I'm basically Superman. Like y'all don't have nobody on Earth that can be what I can be. So let me do that. Let me show Superman because he doesn't know he's not coming back. Let me show Superman, hey, I held it down for you as my idol. You can count on me. And a lot of people that are new to comics, let's say we heard Absolute Batman's brought people, right? They don't really know the lore or the background of Superboy Prime. Like I was talking about my guy on my nurse. This is the first introduction to Superboy Prime he's seen, right? So when we were talking and he was like, when I seen him say it's prime time and that he been holding back, I just thought I was like, no, bro, he's different. They call him the retcon punch for a reason. Like he can't go all out. He doesn't go all.
Wait, they call him what? That's tough. The
Yes, the
retcon punch.
retcon punch. Yes, he has that, bro. He's different. So he's about to you about to see he about to step out. They can't touch him. And we're about to see that. And it's about to be very unique to see him as the main Superman and how they fold that into the real world. You know what I mean? Because he has to save people and he can't go all out in the real world. How are people going to view him? You know what I mean? Because people know the world knows who he is. They know the bad stuff that he did. They know the good stuff he did. How are they going to perceive him as the main Superman?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. DC is cooking right now on all titles, on all cylinders, man. Big shout out to Jim Lee and everybody out there, all the creative teams, man. Y'all really earned y'all spot. Speaking of that, before we get off of the topic, man, they have dominated the year in sales with them putting out, excuse me, I don't know what happened to my camera right there, but putting out, the sales of last year with Absolute Batman dominating at least 15 of the 20 top 10s. I think only one Marvel book was in there, and that was a crossover between Batman, which was the most sold, was the Deadpool and Batman Marvel title, which was the most sold comic of last year. Now, gentlemen, you know you're hot, right? I want y'all to put yourselves in the DC standpoint right now. Y'all know y'all hot. Your books and value are going up. Y'all bringing more people into comics. Y'all selling out titles on pre-orders. What do you do at this point to take that pressure and cook it into diamonds for 2026? Basically trying to replicate what you did in 2025 because you can't keep doing the same thing. Then people are gonna, figure out the formula. You got Marvel that's kind of already, hey, let's bring back Ultimate Reborn Impact or Reborn whatever. You feel what I'm saying? So they're trying to like retcon the formula. What do you do to like not pivot from that? Because you don't want to pivot too much. It's doing great. You don't want to fix what's not broken. But at the end of the day, what do you do to keep those sales up and to keep people intrigued?
Uh, Personally, I feel like in order for you to really shift gears, you need to redo the media side of it. Like the comic book side is already cooking, right? We already know that. There's nothing else that they really need to do. I think they set the state. I think when Jim Lee stepped into that chair, he said, "I have an agenda. We're going to bring DC back to the glory that it was," and he absolutely is doing that within a year. Like honestly, it's incredible the amount of changing that they've done to this industry in a year. That is crazy. But when you got the right plan, you got the right president, they're gonna make it work. But what I think they need to do now is they need to figure out the other side, the other media sides. So they need to get the television part. They need to get the film part. They need to get that down. That's very important right now because now they can lock in they can completely lock in and take over all forms of media that we take in. Like they literally
Next
have
5 years, yes.
everything that they have right now. So I mean, like honestly, you talking about what Marvel trying to do, as far as like bringing in bringing in more African American characters. DC already has African American characters. They can capitalize on those characters. They have the best. They have the number one, as far as I'm concerned, the number one African American character that has ever been made that has been introduced there. Everybody loves him, everybody, and that's Static. Like there was little kids, don't matter what color you was watching that Static show. You know what I'm saying? Like that cartoon that came out. Period. I mean, Marvel took advantage because then they brought in Miles Morales. You know what I'm saying? They kind of took once Static was no longer a factor. They brought in Miles. They was like, okay, let's capitalize on the younger audience. Really catapulted. But you bring Static back into the forefront. You bring him back into cartoons. You bring him into a movie. I guarantee you that there's going to be a space where DC won't control.
I
I
like
hate
when
to
it
say it. I hate
when
to
it
say it, but it's true.
when it comes to DC, your question is very good. It's a very good question. But there's a particular thing that DC has done, right? And it's very simple. It's called planning. They planned it all. They're still planning. So they weren't shocked by this. They're not trying to catch up. They're ahead of all of us, right? We're just enjoying the ride, which is the beauty of somebody being Scott Snyder's doing this, right? He's doing this for a reason. DC's letting him steer the ship for a reason, right? So you got the new books with Next Level coming. Just what they announced, we still get more books. We getting a Lobo book, Jonah Hex book. So even if those books don't do great, they already said, hey, they're going to be sixes, right? But if y'all boom them and they great stories, we're going to make them ongoing, right? Then we got some stuff with younger people. We bringing Static back. Y'all show us y'all want that. They're listening. We're going to give y'all that, right? And you, like Galactus said, you got James Gunn. We got Creature Commandos. You know what I'm saying? He we got Supergirl coming. They already said he might be directing Brave and Bold when that comes out. So we know that's going good. Then we got the Lantern show coming out. So it's like a domino effect of you keep dropping good stuff and people keep talking about it and you keep getting the net, you're not going to slow down. Then I was talking at my LCS. You got the Absolute Universe. That universe is a legit universe. It's expanded. You can do anything with that universe. I don't think it's going anywhere. I can't say too much from what I've read. It's not going anywhere. They're going to expand. You're going to get more titles. You're going to get more books. You know how they're dropping so many people. They just dropped the Suicide Squad and the Absolute Wonder Woman book.
I didn't even check out the new
about
ones.
that. You know what I'm saying? Spoiler alert. That came out this week. They dropped the Suicide Squad, right? So it's so much stuff that can keep going that I feel like they're already having and plan because they planned the roadmap. We just follow along. So
Yeah.
business right there is great. And as long as them numbers keep doing what they're doing, we don't really have to worry about stuff getting shut down. We don't have to worry about it because them numbers are reflecting.
I like both of y'all takes. You know why? Because what I got from Galactus was the fact that they need to expand on the media and take advantage of the media. I love your take because by them expanding that what's working for them, the absolute universe, of course you're gonna generate even more sales when you drop absolute Green Arrow or absolute such and such, or you know what I'm saying? Things like that. I think it's gonna blow like an absolute Green Arrow right now, especially after the last run that you was so hyped off of. That book will go crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? Getting, street leveled, grimy. You know what I'm saying? I could just imagine the type of work. I heard it's even going to be something like a horror type series from what I'm hearing.
And
I
that's
heard
okay.
The universe is crazy. It has to be. It has to be horrific, right? When y'all read Absolute Superman this week, the one that drops coming out, bro, the world is not. It's not as simple as what we see in the 4 books that's out. It's so much more, bro. Like it's crazy. The Absolute Universe, it's just gonna keep doing this. If them
Oh
cells
yeah, that's
keep
right.
doing
They
that,
say Shazam's supposed to pop up. Absolute Shazam, right? And Black Adam. Yo, I'm hyped. Y'all
Yeah.
got all right. So before
Listen.
we get too deep into that, right? Because now we're reaching, we're going in spoiler territory. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, everybody, but
spoilers.
if you're not reading the Absolute Universe, pick up the trades, catch up like I have. I've been on Absolute Batman. Now I'm on Absolute Wonder Woman. The trades are out. The second trades is coming out, and they also got the hardcovers of Jim Lee coming out soon. You can pre-order those now.
Comic
So
book day.
catch up, man. They're wonderful titles. Now, gentlemen, right? I do want to touch on some things that I seen. Big shout out to the homie that I seen. I think his name is MD. He's on Comic Talk. He put out something interesting. That's why I don't want to transition yet from this conversation. He talked about the Mount Rushmore of superheroes, which is Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and Wonder Woman. He had a good point though, right? He had two cases on why he felt like, a lot of people just put Wonder Woman up there because, she's an influence to so many women and because she's the first woman superhero. And he feels like she gets a lot of love because she's next to, the world's finest, Batman and Superman. So of course a lot of eyes will be on her. But he feels like there's a case for Iron Man because Iron Man is the face of one of the biggest movie franchises in the world. I'm talking about eclipsing, things like Avatar and Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. Like the MCU is the biggest movie franchise, even bigger than Star Wars financially, right? And also he made a case for Dick Grayson being, he's more of I think Kay even put some of the analytics out. His book's been selling way more than Wonder Woman's for over a decade now. He's one of the most popular sidekicks in the world. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta ask you, gentlemen, right? Just to keep the conversation going and to give y'all to get y'all personal opinions. Do you feel like the Mount Rushmore that everybody says is the Mount Rushmore is hands down solidified? Is it Superman, Batman, Spider Man, and Wonder Woman? Or do you feel like there's a case for any other hero in the media?
I do. I have to say this. And this is just coming from my childhood and seeing what was on TV because it's I guess all of those can make a point because all those are really strong contenders. But I think the only one that's really missing out of this is the Hulk. I feel like the Hulk is missing from out of the conversation. And but other than that, I think if there was, it was only four people on the Mount Rushmore. I hate
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore anyway because it's there's a whole historic. Never mind.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, Unc. Come on, Unc.
You know what I'm saying? The
Straight
whole
to the
historic
cover.
thing. The whole historic thing. But you know what I'm saying. Other than that, though, I think there needs to be a conversation with the Hulk being in the two. I don't think that Wonder Woman should be omitted at all. Because when I look at it, the shows that came out when 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 they were making TV heroes, it was back in the day. It was the Hulk with Lou Ferrigno. You got Batman with what is his name?
Adam.
Uh, huh?
You mean Adam
Adam.
West?
I think it was
Yeah,
Adam
yeah, yeah.
West.
Adam West. Yeah, Adam West. And then you had some clunky Spider-Man show, but it was really honestly it was that one Wonder Woman. You had what's the name on there too? I forgot her name. But those are the people that they chose for a specific reason
Hmm.
because they were marketable. They were able to sell. They were selling in comic books before there was anything else. So I think they chose those specific characters to be a focus because they the ones that sold the most back then. But that's if you're talking about the Mount Rushmore, that should be it. I don't think Dick Grayson should even be close to the conversation because he
Mm.
has historically he hasn't. I mean, he hasn't been. He's young compared to all those other characters. You can't put him on the list of characters that originated comic books. That doesn't make sense.
You
So,
said, oh yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
so yeah, I don't think Dick Grayson should be even in the conversation.
So I saw the video. I saw and I
You
messaged.
seen
I
it?
saw your comment.
I
I
didn't see
comment.
it.
I think people confuse the Mount Rushmore with popularity and recency bias, and I think that's where they lose a lot of their ground. The big word that Galactus just used was history. Mount Rushmore is about history and the actual scene of comics,
Right.
not Dick Grayson's the most relatable right now or Flash. People love Flash. Like, yes, we all know there's going to be ebbs and flows. Wolverine used to be bigger than all of that, right?
Right.
But when it comes down to history, right? He gave you the five because Hulk is one of them fives. I can go Hulk or I can go Wonder Woman. I think Wonder Woman should be there. Yes, of course, because the women aspect, like you needed that growing up. You needed that 75 years ago, whenever it came. Like they were the first three: Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. They did it for a reason, right? Um, so you have that for that representation, but you also have that because she holds her own and she's never gone anywhere this whole time. Yes, she has ebbs and flows, but her history is undeniable. But also Hulk, his history is undeniable, and he's one of them ones, right? He had a big dip for a big time, but he was also relied upon, like you said, movies, TV shows, animated shows. Anytime you needed a bad, you just put Hulk in it, right? He gonna wreak some havoc. Kids gonna love to see that. So I think those two, not trying to say 6, 7, I think those two are what you can put. Anybody else, I feel like you just like don't do me with the Iron Man. Stop, bro. MCU don't got nothing to do with the history, bro. Stop, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
I will say this
people be
though,
saying that for no
a
reason.
character that I don't think gets enough shine on the amount of influence and things he's done in the comic book space is Wolverine.
Wolverine.
He
Like
don't
they,
get enough.
you feel what I'm saying? Like the '90s, he dominated.
Yes.
As far as movie wise,
80s.
he's
Yep, 80s, yes.
dominating right now. You feel what I'm saying? He's
Yeah.
literally dominating. Like Hugh Jackman now. Well, you can't say that anymore because Wesley Snipes is coming back to play Blade. But before Wesley Snipes, he's the oldest actor to play a comic book character since the 2000s.
Most appearances. Yep.
That's
Yeah.
over 26 years that he's been playing this character and keeping this character alive in that medium. And in the comic books, Wolverine been popping probably even before the 90s. I only
It
know
has.
of the 90s because that's the era I started reading Wolverine
Yeah.
or seeing him and the toys and the cartoon things like that. Like let's keep it real. The 90s X-Men was solely focused on Wolverine's character most
So
of the
check it
time.
out. I'm gonna put y'all on to something. I'm gonna say why that makes 100% sense. This is the original cast of X-Men. The original cast, okay? No movie shit. You got
It's crazy.
Professor X, who was a teacher.
Yeah.
All right. You got Cyclops. You got Jean Grey, Angel,
Mhm.
Beast, and Iceman.
Yep.
Those were the original X-Men. The original X-Men.
OG.
Where X-Men turned the corner was when Wolverine was created and entered into the fray. That's where, because when you think about it, the X-Men that you think about the most, when you think about X-Men, you think about Wolverine.
Yes.
Because who else would think about anybody else?
That's
one of my favorite
I'm not
characters.
knocking any of those
Yes.
characters because
Yes.
they all evolved to be great characters. But the one that you think of the most
Wolverine.
is Wolverine. And
Every
Wolverine
time.
has touched pretty much every single corner of the Marvel universe in some type of way, form, or fashion.
Hands down. I agree with you.
Yeah, I think it's
So I agree.
I think it's just who you like. You know what I'm saying when it comes to that. But I do agree Wonder Woman has put in a lot of work. I just think truthfully, she just hasn't been done correctly in other mediums. That's why she's not getting the proper respect she deserves. I think if she's done correctly and they focus her on a TV show, an animated TV show, or when she comes back to the DCU and they don't do what they did in what was that shit that the sequel to Wonder Woman was the name of
it
that
was
like
awful.
1982
Was it
or
Wonder Woman 85
85.
something like that, right? Something like that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that was trash.
Hey,
I'm not even gonna lie.
we don't talk about that time. Let's stay on the up with DC. Listen.
He said we don't talk
Listen.
about those things. Hey, listen, we got it.
But now
We gotta make
you
sure people
it's true.
understand like where we coming from.
It's
Bro.
true. It's
Yeah, and
definitely true.
I think what Absolute Wonder Woman doing is phenomenal. I think Kelly Thompson is doing a phenomenal job with that.
Agreed.
I do
Perfection.
see, like I said, I was gonna check it out. I haven't read Tom King's Wonder Woman run. I'm about to get my book of his Supergirl book, so that'll be my first introduction to his writing. After I read it, I'll let y'all know as a new comic book reader. Well, not new, but as coming back to comic books, catching up on a couple of titles.
Catching up. Yeah, catching up.
Especially DC, because I've always dabbled in and out of Marvel. You know what I'm saying? But now coming back and reading indies and DC and exploring the genre overall, I think it'll be exciting to explore Tom King's writing and give an opinion for myself. I do see he gets a lot of slack because I've been doing a lot of reading, him being, old CIA agent and all this other stuff. So I'm kind of curious where this goes, right? But I say that to say this. Let me know in the comments, who do you feel like is in your who is in your Mount Rushmore of superheroes? Who deserves to be in there? Who doesn't? Let me know. But I do feel like y'all made some strong points. Now moving on to television and TV. Let's talk a little about that, man. We had a bunch of stuff drop. One current situation, right, is the Wonder Woman, excuse me, Wonder Woman. I was
Wonder
thinking
Man.
about Wonder Woman, y'all. Wonder Man situation. Wonder Man dropped with 8 episodes, each of them like 33 minutes long. They all dropped on Disney Plus on January 27th. If you haven't seen it, man, make sure you watch it. It's some of the best
Watch
television that
it.
MCU has dropped in a
Yes.
very long time. I'm putting it in my top three. I'm not even gonna lie. I think it was a breath of fresh air. Um, and I loved it. I loved every bit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. In the beginning, I was like kind of confused. I'm like, okay, what they going with this? But then after it stuck to me immediately. I believe Yaya is phenomenal. He did a
Crazy.
phenomenal job of
Crazy.
acting that role. It even made me like the side character that I never gave a damn about. What's
The
his name?
Mandarin. The
Yeah,
Mandarin.
the Mandarin dude. I didn't give up about him in Shang-Chi. I didn't care. I really didn't care about him in Iron Man 3. But Wonder Man made me appreciate Iron Man 3 that much
Hmm.
more. Because if you go back and you watch that in order, which I did, I don't know why. I'm just a nerd like that. I say, you know what? Let me go back and see this. I had the time. I watched Iron Man 3. It really elevates that movie, right? And give that movie a lot of heart and feeling, especially from Tony. That's such an underappreciated um third movie to any trilogy in the MCU.
I
But
agree with
of
you. I
course,
agree.
it had some problems with it because of the Mandarin situation, right? A
Yeah.
lot of people didn't like the fact that Killiam, was quote unquote the Mandarin or whatever the case may be. A lot of people felt some type of way about that. They felt like it was a race swap. They felt like it was miscast and it was done wrong. But Wonder Man standing right now, I think 89, 90% audience, 90, 91% critic rating right now on Rotten
Damn.
Tomatoes. Didn't get a lick of promotion and still doing numbers. You didn't see no promotion on this. So we're going to go through multiple topics with Wonder Man. We're going to go through the marketing and promotion. How do we feel with our brown characters? Like OG like to say, I'm sticking to that. I like that. Our brown characters getting represented right in the MCU because they did it with Ironheart. We let that shit slide only because of the lack of quality that Ironheart brought. Some people was on the fence about it, but when we get something good and you're still doing the bullshit, a lot of people are speaking out about it now. Like, hey,
Hmm.
listen, now it feels like you're just dragging it. We can understand why you didn't want to promote Ironheart too much because you ain't want people to see the bullshit that y'all was doing. But when you have something this good that I feel like is worthy of even being mentioned, in award conversations, right? Because the acting was that good in it, and it steers away from the beat 'em up, bang bang shit that we used to. You know what I'm saying? It's not all about. It tells a great story. So, gentlemen, I want to get your reactions on episodes 1 through 8. What what episode you love the most, right? And why do you feel like Marvel did not market this show like they were supposed to?
So real quick, I heard something. I don't know if it's true. I don't ever seen the links, but I heard that Marvel and Disney almost used Wonder Man as a tax write-off because they did not believe. And
They
look
didn't.
how crazy that is. Now, I'm gonna go back to what I said in the first episode. Shout out to our brown people, right? Every time, to diversity, to whatever you want to call troubled waters, they show up and they stand out for us. He did his thing. He killed it. Amazing. It deserves all the love it's getting, and we all love the show. So that's first what I'm gonna say. Shout out to him. Secondly, I love this show. I watched this. I couldn't wait to finish the show. I was watching it so fast. Like I was like, I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to work. I need to go home and watch it. But I think my favorite episode. I think it's two. I think my first favorite episode is when he got the call to realize that he got the job to play Wonder Man. So that was like the his mom's birthday episode. Um, and the end of that episode. And then the second episode was my favorite. Was when he found out that the Mandarin was betraying him. Some of the acting in that was just crazy, man. Just the dialogue, the chemistry that they all had, his family aspect. I haven't seen a family aspect like that since um Miss Marvel, since the Miss Marvel show, man. Like it was real, and I felt that. I'm not even that. What were they? What was his family?
I think they might have been African, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, like, but I could just feel it. Like I'm just like, wow, and seeing where he came from, seeing how he was raised, his pops being a real pops, man, all of it was just perfect for me. It's such a good time. So I think it did amazing when it comes to Marvel with the marketing. I don't know, man. We talked about this first episode. I don't know why they don't believe. I don't. Um, if it's if you get the right people in the shows and you write it somewhat competent, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna do something, man. It's gonna do good. So I don't know why they're not marketing it. At least a little more marketing. Get with some brown people on social media. Get some people to push it, right? I couldn't tell you, but
It's making me have real strong feelings towards the Blade project now, right? Like, what's really the reason you're not pushing Blade? You have a Academy Award actor wanting to play this character. Like, he's pushing for it. Like, it's not like he's like being forced into it. No, he's waiting on them to make this move. But Galactus, right? You watching Wonder Man. You're finally caught up with the project now, right? What was your first take from it? Because there's been a bunch of talk online. A lot of people feel some type of way about his origin. A lot of people feel some type of way about the race swap. A lot of people feel some type of way that him potentially being a mutant because they introduced Doorman, so they're assuming because Doorman was a mutant and he got his own episode in there, which was episode 4 titled Doorman, which I thought was very phenomenal. I love the way they even used
Really?
his mask and all that. You know what I'm
bro,
saying?
Olaf had me crying laughing. I don't remember the actor's name, but he's in the club singing the Olaf song. I'm dying laughing.
And it sets up me personally. I think Wonder Man sets up the MCU for something a lot much bigger than what people realize because I didn't personally know this until after watching the show and going through new rock stars and checking out their Easter eggs and stuff like that. I didn't know his brother becomes Grim Reaper. So I'm interested to see that little banter that they had back and forth. Where does that go if they decide to do a season 2? Because he is set to appear again in Doomsday. So we will see Wonder Man again, which is exciting news. So Galactus, what was your biggest takeaways from this series?
I got some. I wrote out a list of points.
Hey, let's
First,
get it.
first, first of all, I need to correct. He is not African, Haitian. I just
There we
Google.
go. There we
He
go.
was Haitian. So my apologies. Um, so first of all, let me just say this. I love the series. Um, I I finally gotta give Marvel their grace when it comes to their television shows, series versus the movies. And this is something that I've seen for myself, like just noticing they are drama heavy on their television side, not action heavy, rather than the movies. The movies are blockbusters. They need to have that action into it because they need to grab the audience's attention. So this is why we're not seeing these grand battles and all these things happen in the TV side because they're series. They're building up a character. They're character building, and it's taking them those episodes to do so. But they're also bringing them a little bit more. We're getting a better understanding of who they are as people emotionally. So they're choosing characters that I feel like are perfect for their TV side. Okay, let me just say that first. Now, moving into that part of it, I loved it because I didn't. Let me tell you something, man. My attention was grabbed from the beginning to the end, and it's because of the acting. The acting is that phenomenal. First of all, Ben Kingsley, out of all the actors, number one, he's probably one of the best actors ever, ever. Like honestly, ever. Ben Kingsley is one of the best actors ever. Okay, because he has his range is ridiculous of what he could do. Downside though, downside, I felt as though this was a Mandarin slash Wonder Man series. It was heavily supported by that other character, other than Wonder Man. So let me just say that. Um, I don't know if it was on purpose because they wanted to drive other audiences to see it and didn't think that he could do it on his own. But I felt as though I wasn't watching a Wonder Man series personally. I felt as though I was watching a Wonder Man slash Mandarin movie. Equally, their acting was phenomenal. Like honestly, it was bridging a newer generation with an older generation perfectly. So let me just say that.
But so question with that though, but
Mhm.
right, we all with comic book stuff, we always say we want it to be like you're opening a book and you're reading, right? So you got this universe and you got all these characters in this universe that never seem to be at the same spot at the same time.
Yeah,
You got it. And I will agree with kind of the heaviness that they put on the Mandarin, but it also helps that it helps it feel like the world is actually lived in and he's been here this whole time rather than he's a new person that's kind of oblivious to most of the world. You know what I mean? So it's like
yeah,
having a Mandarin there, it makes the universe feel like it's a part of.
they fixed it.
So, but I do agree though. I do agree with you.
Yeah,
It was a little heavy. Like it
yeah.
a
Like
little. The plot was very much
it was
dependent on him.
50-50.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. Instead
It
of
was
like
50-50.
75-25. Yeah,
Yeah, they had to like literally take they had to like literally fix whatever they did in that Iron Man movie. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? So they had to fix it. Which okay. But again, I know there's reasons as to why. But
yeah.
I want to share something that the audience probably didn't even notice, and probably you guys didn't either.
Come on, Unc. Come on, Unc.
So I'm really big on paying attention to details in any movie and stuff like that. So Easter eggs. Let me tell you something, and this is just something that my geek mind went to. In the beginning, he referenced how a book prop can bring more authenticity to a scene with intent, right? He said that this book, I think I should be carrying this book because it kind of like it's just a scene that we're trying to do, right? And they kind of negated it. They said no. A couple of uh scenes later, with him in the bar, they the Mandarin was drinking a Bloody Mary. Okay, so the Bloody Mary is a reference. It was a they in shows and movies they do things on purpose, so you have to really pay attention. But it refers to the folklore of the a witch or a ghost that appears in a mirror when called 3 times. That's what a Bloody Mary, the history of a Bloody Mary.
Yep, I remember. I still ain't
And
never
the
done it.
character of Wonder Man, he played who? Candyman.
Yep.
Candyman is a
Oh.
character that appears in the mirror when you call his name
3 times.
3 times.
Yep.
So that was pretty dope. How and if you notice, the Bloody Mary is shown. It's not like it's an afterthought. It's literally sitting in front of the character
Yep.
in the scene multiple times, like
Do the
sitting there.
show. Yep.
It's a focus. So if you notice, they were paying homage to his character that he played in Candyman.
Mm.
Super
Phenomenal
dope.
movie, by the way. Phenomenal. That Candyman movie was phenomenal.
Super dope. Super
Yep.
dope. So I'm putting you on the game. Real talk. This is why you got to pay attention to certain things in movies because they actually throw in certain things in there, just off rip. So yeah, the other part to this is they changed number one damage control. They changed the organization of what damage control actually is. And they
Yeah.
referred to damage control in multiple other movies, apparently, that I wasn't even aware of, but it was in a way where I didn't even understand it. Because originally damage control, and it says here, is a fictional construction company appearing in American comics published by Marvel Comics. So essentially what they do is after the heroes do all the damage to all the cities and everything that they do, they come in and clean up the mess. They fix everything. So that's who damage control actually is. Just so you know.
Yeah. Spider-Man 1.
Yeah.
They were in
Yeah, Spider-Man, they did.
yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much yes, it was. Yep. No Way Home was it? Not
Yeah.
No Way Home, but no. Yeah.
What's it called? No, No Way Home. I
What
always
was it? Which one was
the
that one?
first one. The
But yeah,
first
the
one.
first one. But
Yeah.
yeah, they kind of refer to it, but that's really what their purpose is. And here they're actually changing the
Homecoming.
purpose of damage control, it seems like.
Yeah.
So I noticed that episode 4, y'all spoke about it. I put a WTF there. It took a long time to get to the point, is what I said. So I wanted to just kind of say that. Number 4, I felt as though they were dragging it, but I get it. So the last of this is okay, never mind. I kind of touched on the Ben Kingsley thing. So that was my other point. But I think overall the point was that, and I said Ben Kingsley was a perfect casting in this particular series, so I am saying he is the perfect one. He's one of the best actors ever, and showcases how important great acting is to make the audience believe the characters. I believe that the reason why I think you may ask a question about the whole brown representation. Here's the thing: they actually point to why there's nothing wrong with shifting a character's color. They actually kind of did that in the movie in a way where it was subtle, but it made such sense. In the joint, he actually says, and it's so crazy when they were in the mansion, and the director, he was like, "You were made for this character, this character. You were made for this
Hmm.
character." And I don't think he was saying it so much. I understand, like from the audience perspective, he was saying it to Wonder Man. He was saying that to everybody else watching, and he was saying it to everybody else watching the show that he was made to play this character. And he goes into showing further reason as to why he was meant to be casted for this specific. It was almost like it was a duality. He had to show as an African American character as to why he was the perfect fit in the show, but he also had to prove it to the audience, us watching it, going through the same process. It's crazy when you think about it. Like when you think outwardly, that's exactly what it was. Fast forward to the end of it, number 8, right?
Hmm.
He's now playing. He's trying to play theoretically, or for his own purpose, right? He was only doing it to get into the prison, but to show again that I can play a white character. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy how many times they
That's
actually did that.
huge what you just did.
Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy what happened within it. If you look at it from that perspective, like, you would see, like, is an agenda there. Whoever directed this was super brilliant in the way they kind of did it, because it's gonna fall under deaf ears until now. Like, most people are gonna watch that show a lot differently now.
And
They're gonna
now,
be like, well,
yes,
damn.
yes,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
just
Like,
did it. You did
real
it.
talk.
And
Yeah.
guess what? The same person who directed that directed Shang-Chi, and he will be directing the new Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Oh,
Daniel
all good
Destin
stuff.
Creighton.
All
And
All
good
good
stuff.
stuff.
so it's a phenomenal joint. That's why I can't understand why they try to sweep it under the rug or like write it off. I just can't understand it. Like I really don't. It's such a phenomenal show, and I understand the backlash. Everybody wants to be so comic book accurate, but like I said online, man, who really would have cared about his actual origin if Baron Zemo would have kidnapped him and experimented on him, even if he just happens to be a mutant, right? That is phenomenal because even Miss Marvel becoming a human, because we all know why the only reason she was inhuman in the comic books at the time is because Marvel was taking a stance when they didn't have the rights to the comic books, so they wasn't trying to push mutants or the Fantastic Four like that in the comic books because they didn't have the rights to the characters, right? So they try to like push the inhuman side of things, but it didn't work out. So we end up getting retconned with Miss Marvel, and now she's a mutant.
Now
So
she
I
back.
wouldn't
Now she
mind,
back. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind if Wonder Man is now a mutant in the MCU, and if Grim Reaper
It
ends
would
up
make
being a
sense.
mutant. How
You
y'all
can't
feel
really,
about that?
honestly, I don't think the MCU could use Baron Zemo as a character. He was a racist. Like, no, 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 literally.
Oh, the guy, the
Yeah,
actor.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, no, the character, the
The
Oh, the
character
character.
character.
itself.
Oh,
Okay.
they've been using him. He was the main character in Civil War, right?
He's literally a racist.
Yeah, he
Like,
was also he was in a TV show as well.
He was in Falcon and the
Captain
Winter
Falcon and
Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah,
was he
they
was
could
in
use
that.
him.
He had that meme scene where he was dancing and all that.
I
And
didn't
he
even
went
notice.
viral. Yeah,
They
he was
could
in
they
he
could
was in
use him.
yeah, he was in that. He was
Uh,
in two
Not
projects
not as
already.
his true character, because he's literally like, when you think about his character. Like, I've just have you ever read Nonstop Spider Man?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, in Nonstop Spider Man, I hated Baron Zemo. Hated him because he actually makes a lot of references in there that is completely racist, but it's on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's meant to actually show his character and who he is, because there's a lot of the German aspect with Hitler and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different things in there in Nonstop Spider Man. So if you read that, you'll get a really good idea of who Baron Zemo really is. And I'm just like, yo, but you know, they kind of course got to tone down his character,
I
whatever
was
it is.
about to say, yeah, they
But
changed
you
it.
know,
Yeah,
you can't
Killmonger,
really go that
Killmonger.
hard
They
because
changed
otherwise you're gonna
Killmonger.
infuriate people. Otherwise,
Yeah,
but trust me, like, yeah. But let's move on.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm just happy they changed. They did change the origin because I think the origin of Wonder Man that we got in the MCU was phenomenally
I
done.
like it.
I think it's a breath of fresh air, like I said before. But let me know how y'all felt about Wonder Man on Disney Plus streaming right now. If you haven't seen it, please go support because they. If not, ain't nobody else. You leave it to some of these internet dudes. Like I seen one dude, bro. Oh, it was trash. It wasn't for me.
That's okay. It could be.
Bro,
It could be.
I literally said uh, L take. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's my opinion. A take is an opinion. If you
yeah.
did not know that. But you know, to each his own. If you don't like it, hey,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you. But if
Right.
you do like it, man, come have a conversation with us. Let us know what you liked about the movie and
So
spread awareness about the show. Like, that's the only way we're gonna get some of these projects to come back or some of these characters. If you go out there and support and let your support be known. So if you like it, don't stay
100%.
quiet about it. Go like a post, reshare a post. There's a
Yep.
lot of stuff that you can do if you're not a creator to
Yeah.
show
hey,
the
and
company.
if y'all notice some stuff that we didn't notice, leave it in the comments,
Leave it in
man. Let us.
Leave it
comments.
in the comments, man.
This is what media is about, man. Seeing stuff from different angles, media literacy, and understanding everybody's viewpoint. We can all have conversations and debates as long as you keep it honest and safe.
And respectful.
Let us know. Let us know what we missed. Because we got a lot going on in life. So everybody ain't seeing the same stuff, right?
All right, now speaking about takes and opinions, right? Before we move on, I want to get y'all gentlemen's take on where does this character rank in the shows? Where are you putting it? Now, I'm gonna give y'all some time to think. I'm gonna give y'all my top five. Me personally, I gotta put Loki up there. My number one. Loki was phenomenal to me. I thought both episodes was done well. Werewolf by Night would probably be my second. I thought that was done
I didn't even watch that.
well. Um, I did like also
Huh.
Moon Knight. I felt like Moon Knight was great until the point of like episode 8 when they went for that big huge scene of the
I like.
monsters fighting and all. That's where they kind of I didn't
I
like the
like it.
ending. You know what I'm saying? So but
Like.
up until that part, Moon Knight was phenomenal. The acting in that I think was the best acting in any MCU that we got. Like, who was
Woo.
that? Oscar Isaac
Yeah.
was
Mhm.
Oscar Isaac, yeah.
my God, him playing two sides, like being bipolar, whatever kind of situation he had going on. I thought that was done so well. Number four, that's where I'm gonna put Wonder Man. I know a lot of y'all might feel some type of way that I put that over WandaVision, but WandaVision I think will round off my top five. I did like that show. I thought it was the reason why I liked it so much because it was something I never seen and it worked. How they went through every episode with a different sitcom, and then we got an epic battle at the end. I thought that was done really well. But y'all gentlemen, what is your top five MCU shows right now?
You want me to go, Galactus?
Yeah, you good.
All right, so I pulled it up over here. One, I got Loki. I think it speaks for itself, man. Loki's just Loki. It did its thing. At two, I got WandaVision. WandaVision was different for me. Anybody can watch it. It don't even matter if you like comics or MCU. It don't matter. You can watch that. At three, I got Miss Marvel. I think some people forget about Miss Marvel. Got Miss Marvel as same as you at four. I have Wonder Man, same thing, and then at five, I have Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I really enjoyed that show. That show was so fun to me, and the journey that he went on, I wish they would have built upon that going into his own movie instead of doing that same journey again. Because
Oh,
y'all
that would
hear
have
me
been
talk about
fire.
y'all hear me talk about Cap Brave New World all day. We're not gonna get into that, but yeah, Falcon Winter Soldier is definitely my five.
That was actually fire now that you say that.
Yeah,
Okay, I like that. I like that. Because they should have we're gonna talk about that in a future episode, y'all. We're gonna touch on Falcon and the Winter Soldier going into the Brave New World in a later episode. Galactus, what's your top five?
Daredevil is number one.
Daredevil.
Daredevil number one. Punisher. Not Punisher. I kind of like Punisher. I'm gonna have to say Punisher number two. Number three. I gotta be honest, man. I say Loki. Loki number three. So we got what I say? No, Moon Knight. No, Moon Knight is number three.
Okay.
Yeah, we got Daredevil. Matter of fact, no, Daredevil, Moon Knight, Punisher.
Hey, we bring in you cheating. If we bring in Netflix shows
That's
into
what
it, I
I'm
got
I thought
Daredevil
that's what we
number
were doing.
one.
What we doing?
No,
I thought we were
MCU
doing number
shows.
Netflix. We talk about just
MCU
overall.
shows.
Yeah.
No, just the MCU
No,
shows.
just MCU. But if we're doing Netflix, because we can kind of wait, is the Daredevil new season connected with the Netflix one?
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
connected now.
Oh,
Yeah.
then yeah, I'm putting Daredevil number one. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
If I'm just going off the
we gotta
MCU
do this
one,
correct. We gotta do it correct.
I don't like that. I think that's such a cheat, bro. But I'm not. I argue with people about this all the time. Like it's the same thing with X-Men '97, and they claim it's Marvel. I hate when they give credit to MCU for doing that because they don't.
Oh,
They
are
didn't
we
originate
counting
there.
shows like that? Because if we're
Out
counting shows like
animated.
that, I'm putting X-Men '97 in
See,
mine.
okay,
That was
okay.
one of the shows that made me like.
Wait. Okay.
You broaden its parameters too much. Are we doing? Come on now.
Yeah, hold on. We got hold on, chat. Hold on, bear with us real quick.
Live shows.
Are we doing live action? Live action,
All right,
right?
all right.
Live action.
Live
that's
action Disney Plus
crazy
shows.
because that limits that actually limiting parts of the what because I mean there's tie-ins to that though. They tie into the story.
But Galactus, that's the point though. You gotta. My viewpoint is you gotta go off what the MCU made, right? The 3 seasons of Daredevil, MCU did not make that. Netflix made that. I can't. In my heart, I can't give credit of that greatness to MCU. They didn't. They don't deserve that just because they bought it.
Man, that's crazy. Okay,
that's my perspective. That's my perspective.
Listen,
we don't gotta agree.
Man. I hear you, but it's Netflix is just the what do you say? How can you say it? They're just the avenue to get the stuff out. They ain't actually have an input into the show. So I'm saying like those are still Marvel creators. Like you know what I'm saying? Like those.
No, it's not.
You got a good point. Let me ask you something, Bluejack.
Oh, Netflix? No, it's not.
Netflix bought Lucifer and finished Lucifer over there, and everybody raved about it. It's like vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's like you can't really
started that. You know what I'm saying?
I have a different thought process on it, but to keep it, aligned with what you guys did, I'll keep it aligned. Okay. So what I got here, we're gonna do Moon Knight number one.
No, you can use the Daredevil season that dropped, Born Again.
Yeah,
you can do that.
That's crazy because it actually continues off for the first 3. Come on, man.
Hey, don't. Hey, first of all, don't be mad at me because your favorite company likes to grab different things that they didn't create to profit off of. Don't be mad at me about that.
Blue, I can't. Then you can't use Daredevil at all because Daredevil, the first three set it up for this what we watching now.
It is a continuation.
You
can't
even like that's crazy. Like that's you. So you mean it's gonna omit the first half of Daredevil and know what's going on now?
Now listen, that's why I said that's what I do. I'm not. I know a bunch of people on the net. They count all of that stuff. So y'all can count that. I'm just not doing that. I'll say that.
For the sake of the conversation, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it funky. I'm gonna do what we doing. However, I don't agree. Y'all hear me out there?
Galactus, I don't agree either. I'm with you on this one, Galactus. Because let me ask you a question, right, Blue? If you could connect it, or if it was connected, right? Where would it go in your top 5?
Daredevil.
Yeah.
Daredevil would probably be 1.
So we all would agree that now
Luke Cage would be in my top 5.
Luke Cage?
That's what I was about to do.
Yes.
But I changed my shit. So I'm gonna
yes, Luke Cage would be in,
wait,
in my
okay.
top 5.
Let me go ahead and do based off because I want to make sure I align with y'all real quick. So I'm gonna say my top 5 with this first, and then we can discuss the other part.
All right.
So I'm gonna say Moon Knight is my top. I'm gonna say Loki next. Loki was fuego.
Okay.
Um, I gotta be honest, the majorities I ain't like too much, but if I have to rank them, I gotta rank them, right? So Moon Knight, Loki.
I got him,
Uh,
y'all. I got him. I got him. His MCU. He can't speak on it. Go ahead.
yo, you had yo, cause to be honest with you, like these ain't really good shows, but
I
you know,
love it.
but okay, like I said, Moon Knight, Loki, ah, Miss Marvel, man, Miss Marvel. Cause I didn't really like Miss Marvel that much, and Secret Invasion was so trash.
Oh
Better
my
not
Um,
say
God.
Secret
They need to
Invasion.
retcon that and
You
do an
it was
actual
so it was
movie.
so trash, bro. Like I would have to say the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm gonna say WandaVision, but only WandaVision last because I couldn't stomach the rest of that show. I couldn't watch it all the way to the end. I'm gonna try again for the sake of y'all, but to be honest with you, I guess it was the visuals that really didn't do it for me.
Okay.
But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to go through the whole thing again. But that's my five, man. So that's it. But yo, can we shift back? No, to
Hey, I
Netflix.
want to say this to the viewers. Y'all don't mind me and Galactus. I'm DC. He's
Yeah,
Marvel. So we pick on each other
we
all
do.
day. And I'm up here right now because
He
he
feeling
has
so.
to be so realistic
He feeling
about
so.
Marvel with comics, movies, TV shows. He has to be honest. And I got my boy locked in with DC heavy. So it's just good right now. And all of y'all that hated on DC, I'm on y'all head top too. Just know I got smoke for everybody.
He
You know what I'm
feeling
saying?
himself. He feeling himself. Hey,
That's just that. It's all good fun. It's all good fun.
yeah, it is.
All right, so now before we shift into our next topic, which is a good transition because we were just talking about Daredevil, the Daredevil trailer, I do want to just mention when y'all brought up Secret Wars, it was such a waste of a character, Shorty from Game of Thrones. They could have made her Kitty Pryde. They could have saved her for, any other character in the
Oh, you mean
Marvel
what? Secret
universe.
Secret Invasion? You talking about Secret Invasion?
Yeah, what was Shorty name from Game of Thrones? The one who had Drax's arm at the end, and this night it was
I didn't watch
focused on her.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, she played the queen in Game of Thrones. What was her name? She was the main character in Secret Invasion.
Oh, hold on. I can hold on.
If y'all know in the comments, let me know, man. Let me see. I'm gonna get her name right now because now I'm curious. Game of Thrones. Her name was it Emily Clark? I think it was
Oh
Emily
yeah, yeah.
Clark.
The one that got the powers. Yeah, Emilia Clark. Yeah, Emilia Clark.
Amelia Clark.
I got
I
it
said
right here.
Emily. Amelia Clark.
Yeah, Emilia.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was Amelia Clark. I knew it was something Clark, man. But to be honest, I think she was a throwaway character. She's such a phenomenal actor. They could have used her for any other character. I truly hope they retcon that and give us, somewhat more of a comic accurate story and a movie base. I think it would have been really dope to see Avengers Secret Invasion as a movie and as
I
a
agree.
Avengers title with everybody, involved.
Done
Let's
right.
see
Yeah.
what they do in the future because we know it's somewhat going to be a soft reboot after Avengers Secret Wars. So let's see in the future what that holds. But the Daredevil trailer has hit the internet after the actress Jessica Jones leaked it on her Instagram
She's back, baby.
story. And I know Kevin Feige was like, man, just go release the trailer now.
Yeah.
She done, I mean, got it on the internet. So it was released. Also, we'll talk about another big spoiler coming up after this. I'm gonna ask y'all gentlemen how y'all feel about it. But these Marvel actors, especially the new Marvel actors coming to the scene, they dropping us all types of goodies, man. So we get the trailer, we get the review of Jessica Jones entering the MCU with the same actress that, oh man, if I was gonna put another show in my top five, if we're including Netflix, Jessica Jones season 1 and 2 was
That's
phenomenal.
in my top 10 for sure. Jessica Jones is amazing.
That
She's
was actually,
perfect. She's perfect. She's
and
literally
her
her.
villain
She's her.
was actually
Yes.
villains. Like her villain was phenomenal. Like what was his name? The purple dude.
I don't remember, but it was gas.
Yeah, it was gas, man. That show was phenomenal. But you get a look at Jessica Jones. You get a look at Kingpin. Looked like he trimmed some weight too. Looked like he getting in shape. Kingpin like lost a little mass there.
Yeah, he need to get
Um,
big again. He need to get big again.
Yeah, I didn't like what too much of what I saw. We did get a bullseye in the trailer, so we got to see Bullseye, we got to see Kingpin, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, of course, Punisher. So let me ask y'all, gentlemen, right? What are your expectations for season two? Like, because like we said, Netflix Daredevil hit different. Like, it was something that revived the live action side of Marvel in a big, big way. So now with Born Again, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was okay. I'm not gonna shit on it because I did enjoy it. It was entertaining, but I didn't feel the same way I felt for it on Netflix. Like, it wasn't as impactful. I will say the dialogue between him and Punisher in Born Again was some of the best scenes I've seen from them together,
Hmm.
period. Even throughout the Netflix stuff. Like, their dynamic is getting so good. Those two actors are getting so used to each other and so comfortable in those roles that I think they play off each other very well, which got me excited for the Punisher series coming to Disney Plus and the character coming in Brand New World. So, John Berthal is all over the place in the MCU coming soon. Now, what are your expectations for this show now that the trailer is out?
My expectations are really high because I felt the same way that you felt about the first season. I can't stand when Marvel does the two different creative teams making one show. It doesn't fit. But correct me, fact check me, y'all viewers. I'm pretty sure the people that made the Netflix Daredevil made this season. So that's why my expectations are up here because I'm expecting it to be back to greatness that we got on Netflix. So I'm just expecting, like they said, more violence, more great choreography, more fights. Seeing him in the suit, you know what I'm saying? Seeing all, seeing all the characters, Jennifer, all of it, man. So I'm hyped for it. I'm ready. I can't lie. This is one of them ones. Once I heard that, I was like, y'all might reel me back in. I might have to not talk so much trash if this is what it is.
Galactus. What are your expectations, man? I know this is your number one show. So how do you feel, man? It carrying on the legacy over on Disney Plus.
I feel like they're gonna have to go back to what made us all watch Daredevil in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's missing to me because that last season I really didn't like it as much as I did the other, with Netflix.
Mhm.
but you know what I'm saying? I didn't like it as much as I did when it was with Netflix. But you know, they're gonna have to ramp it up, like Boo said. The action needs to be ramped up. Less drama, more action. We're at a point. We're at a pivotal point in the progression of Daredevil to where we can now justify more action. Right? We did the drama, a heavy drama with that first episode. I mean, that first series, Born Again. Even in the first initial series, we did a lot of heavy drama within that too. Let's now shift the gears a little bit. Let's start to amp up the action because that's really what the people want. The audience wants more action. We've already learned what we could from these actors. You know what I'm saying? Like from the characters themselves, about the characters. Now let's move into the battles where we are known for seeing within comic books. You know what I'm saying? So I understand this is still essentially a drama. It's an action drama. It's still actually an action drama. But let's put action first now. Instead of drama action, let's do action drama. So that way we can kind of make sure that we get what we're all looking for. It's heavily missing, and with the fact that they're introducing so many of these superheroes and kind of bringing them all into the central spot now, that's exactly what we need. You know what I'm saying? Like that's you. It doesn't make sense to have all of these characters in this space and nothing happens. Like you know what I'm saying? Like if that's the case, then we could watch rom coms or whatever else all the time we want. But that's not what we're here for. You know what I'm saying? It's time for us to start moving to the space where we want to see more action. But that's what's missing.
I love it. All right. So now before we move off Marvel television, right? I gotta ask y'all if you can get one character in the Marvel universe that hasn't shown up yet to get an 8 episode spotlight series on Disney Plus, who would you want that character to be?
Man.
That gets like a little shine that you like, come on, like, because they've been doing characters that nobody expected. Werewolf by Night, Moon Knight, Wonder Man.
Good question.
You
That's
know
a
what I'm
That's
good
gonna be
saying?
that's like some Midnight Sun stuff that they're doing anyway. Like some most of those characters are Midnight Suns.
that's a good question.
But
Is there an Avenger that hasn't been shown yet that you would like to see?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm gonna be 100, and this is just based off of me where I'm at right now, with my collecting journey, and also just appreciating brown people. I feel like Blue Marvel needs to be he needs there needs to be a reshift with the character period. I think it'll be tough because number one, he's like probably one of the most powerful characters there is in Marvel Universe. But I feel like there needs to be a focus on that character. Bring him back in a way where the audience knows him, because nobody really knows about the character. And I didn't even know about this character until one of my homies, Hat Goat and Scripts, was like, "Yo, get into this character." And I'm like, "Well, who is he?" You know what I'm saying? So, but
For
then
the
I started
truth.
to do some research on it, and I was like, "Yo,
Yeah.
like this would be a perfect character to bring into the Marvel universe because number one, I think in the MCU period, it's necessary to see a character of that caliber and power in a position to where he's actually helping out the other heroes. Like he's able to help them out, not the other way around. He's not part of a team. He doesn't have to be a part of a team. He's a superpower. So I'm saying like that's what's missing. But if I had if because it's never gonna be that. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna speak. I'm just gonna say what it is. It's never gonna be that. But I think if you were to bring a character in, yeah, Blue Man, go ahead, man, because I got to think on this one. This that was a that
I
was a
got
real.
two good ones, right?
You go
That
ahead,
I
go
would
ahead.
like to see.
Let's hear it.
And I know people will be like, "What? Why?" I just think it'll be interesting storytelling, and I would like to see what they do with it. Right? It's two teams. I'm gonna go with a team that I would like to see done just on Disney Plus. I wouldn't want to see a movie with them because I don't think. Well, who knows? It might work. Alpha Flight. I think an Alpha Flight show would be interesting to the general public, right? They might be interested in it. And a villain wise, walk with me, right? Hellfire Club. I think a Hellfire Club based on them, original story told with those characters, with Emma Frost in that bitch. Oh my god! Big shout out Emma, man, the Diamond Queen, man. Stop sleeping on my baby,
That
man.
might be in the,
But
you know what I'm saying? It might be in the works with mutants coming because they got to they can't just it's too much. They can't just do all movies for X-Men
Yeah,
when they do the whatever you want to call it. It's gonna have to be some shows. So that's you got
yeah, you feel what
some
I'm
good
saying? And I
unique
think
he
stuff
got some
in
they,
there.
good ones.
yeah, and they expand the X Men universe because at the end of the day, there's so many great X Men teams. But I think some of them are already in development. I heard X Force is in development for a movie. I heard Ryan Reynolds is pushing for that heavy, and Deadpool 4. He's pushing for both of them to get green lit as we speak. I've heard X Men titles are in the works. They're trying their best for a new Wolverine that won't have nothing to do with Hugh Jackman, which is exciting because we get a
Yeah,
new take on Wolverine.
Good.
I heard that they're trying to do a Storm. I don't know how true that is. That's rumors. But speaking of X Men, Blue, matter of fact, go ahead, Blue. Before I get off
Hey,
this, because this is going to segue into something nice.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do a character because I don't think I have one.
Mm.
But what I want to see is a six of just the life in Wakanda. I don't
Oh,
feel like we've seen enough of that. And granted, the second movie, Wakanda Forever, we couldn't because of tragedy and all that. But just give me somebody in the movies that we can follow stationed in Wakanda. Put some they got to solve a mystery, whatever it may be. I want to see life in Wakanda, and I
don't
think
they
that would
got
be
something like that coming?
animated. The animated stuff happen. I want to see a live action of what we saw in Black Panther #1. We saw them walk around the streets a little bit. I want to see life
Mm.
in Wakanda. That's what I would be. I would rock with heavy, and I think it would. You already know. I think it'd go crazy.
Yeah, that's
Get
kind
some
of
good,
fire.
some big black actors in there, some big brown actors in there, some big people. Gee, everybody, come on,
Yeah, that might be tough, man.
movement.
I could have sworn they was doing like a Dorze,
Dora Milaje,
yeah,
maybe.
Dora Milaje series.
You never know
might
what
be bugging.
MCU's doing because they be canceling everything. G.
Yeah, that is true. You know, you hear
never
about
know.
something next week that's
Marvel
pretty much
too.
gone. So now,
Yeah.
speaking of X-Men characters, right? Our guy who plays Magneto, the old school Magneto, not Fassbender, um, he leaked that Magneto will destroy New Jersey in Avengers Doomsday. Why? We have no idea. If somebody want to look up the report real quick and get the full context of his leak, but he's under a lot of fire right now for leaking that. He said that he Magneto basically destroys New Jersey. Why? Who knows? Will this have something to do with what we've seen with the X Mansion being destroyed? Will that impact him trying to clear out the Sentinels, affect upstate New York going into Jersey? I'm not sure, but that's pretty interesting, man. What do you think about Magneto showing like his full potential? Well, not full potential, because we know what he's capable of in the comics. But what do you think about them showing such of a massive destruction from Magneto? And why do you think he does that?
I just read some. I don't know. I think they said, "Oh, Galactus, you got something?" You
No,
go.
go ahead.
I think I just saw something saying like I think he was kind of manipulated or controlled by Doom. But I think regardless of whatever, I think it's perfect. It's perfect for the MCU to introduce mutants in that light to already show off the level that they're going to be at. You can't sleep on mutants, man. Mutants are literally the cornerstone of Marvel. Bro. They need to be crazy power level. You need to understand when these people come around, especially Omega level mutants, it's about to be some damnation coming out. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be some craziness that that's going to have ripple effects into other things. It's not just going to be, oh, this is just a corner of this place and it's a fight and then it was all healed up in a month. No, it needs to be craziness. So I like how they're introducing that, especially with Magneto, which we know from the Fox stuff, he was having issues with his powers at the end of that movie, at the end of those movies. So and he's still old, so it kind of makes sense a little bit. So I like it. I didn't know that leak came out, but you know what I mean. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, once I seen it, I read the article. Well, I didn't fully read the article. I read the headline.
Yeah,
But it was like, when y'all woke me up today, I'm like, oh shit. And I'm looking through my phone and I'm like, what?
yeah.
Now, personally, this gets me super excited for Doomsday. I've been telling everybody, I've been seeing the criticism. Doomsday is going to be pressure. This is going to be one of the best Avenger movies. I understand people feelings about Doom and RDJ playing Doom, but my God, he's about to cook. He's about to show people why Doom is such a menace. Now, I will agree with people that should have been built up with Doom, but with the circumstances that they had,
Yeah, they couldn't.
they couldn't. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be a buildup, but I think that's why we're gonna get a 3 hour plus movie. Because I think the Russos and the Russos don't miss, man. Y'all talk about the Eight Gun don't jam. Name a Miss Russo project, man. Name one, bro. All Billies. The only one that didn't hit $1 billion is Winter Soldier. And the crazy part about it, Winter Soldier is probably better than the ones that did hit a billy. You know what I'm saying? You got Civil War, hit $1 billion. Avengers Infinity War, hit $1 billion. Avengers Endgame, hit $1 billion. Like their track record with superheroes projects have been phenomenal. Something to be studied.
So
You know
are
what I'm
you
saying?
saying right now that Doomsday is going to hit a bill? Is that what you're saying?
Not
That's
only
your
will
pick.
they hit a bill with the rival of Doom 3 dropping the same day, but it'll clear anything DC is doing in 2026. It's gonna clear Supergirl. It's
Obviously,
gonna
yeah.
clear Clayface, and it's gonna clear probably. Well, I don't know because you got Michael Jackson dropping in 2026.
But is it clearing Spider-Man?
Ooh,
That's a big.
I
That's a
think it
big
will.
debate, right?
I think it will. I think it's gonna clear Spider-Man. Critically, I don't know because I think critically Spider-Man is gonna be more grounded, to be honest. And I think the critics are going to eat that up, to be honest. But I think financially, it's going to clear. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Because
listen,
Spider-Man only
it's
had
going to
1 billion.
be it's going to be the biggest movie of the year when it drops. Period. And I mean that's it's undeniable. The build up that they're already starting with it is going to create such mass hysteria. Like imagine Endgame, what Endgame did, but it's going to be way worse than that because of everything that they're including into this movie. They're taking everything that we've known about the Marvel universe and they're smashing it all together. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's going to be one reason why people will go. Everybody's going to want to find out exactly what's going on. So it's gonna be the biggest movie of the year.
It's gonna
Y'all,
be an Armageddon movie. I'm
So
telling you, Jersey
it's
ain't
gonna be
y'all,
the only thing that's gonna blow up, bro.
uncaped. Sorry, we have the first split decision of our podcast, y'all. Y'all, I don't feel the way they feel, and we're gonna see who's gonna be right, and it's gonna be so dope to have these conversations after that movie drops. I'm so ready, but y'all, I don't feel that way.
all right.
I don't
I'm
think it's
telling
beating Spider-Man at all because Spider-Man prints money. Never does Spider-Man not print money.
you,
So
got to think about this though,
we
Blue.
gonna see.
MCU wise, Spider-Man only hit 1 billion once, and that was due to the grace of Toby and Andrew being in that.
Yeah,
It's
and
never hit $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about Robert Downey Jr. We're talking about Chris Evans coming back, two of the pillars of the MCU. We're talking about the X-Men, full X-Men. Like
Boom.
most of the whole team is gonna be in
Yeah.
this. We're talking about the Fantastic Four, the Thunderbolts, multiple
I'm
different other
telling
Marvel
you.
characters. You're talking about Sam Wilson, Captain America. You're talking about Wonder Man. There's gonna be over 30 actors in this, and I don't even. I promise you, I'm gonna go on stage. I'm gonna go on record and say this.
come on.
I guarantee most of these heroes don't make it out. Most of these heroes get smoked in this movie. Most of the X-Men, I'm hearing it, no
Oh, yeah.
exaggeration, and we getting a team up with Hugh Jackman and Toby Maguire. What? Hugh
So
Jackman and Toby Maguire teaming up? I'm
The
hearing,
movie.
spoiler alert for anybody who's
Yeah.
listening. I'm hearing the first 10 minutes, you get an incursion between Fox's universe and Toby Maguire's universe. Two worlds like this, Bluejack, gone.
Yeah, let's
Like,
let's do this. Let's do this for a fifth time. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, y'all don't like we can't do this because I can go for hours. So,
hey, look, I'm
but yeah,
just saying, this is, I don't, now, I'm going to be honest, I don't have expectations like Bluejack, I mean, like Galactus has, where it's going to be the biggest movie because Michael Jackson is coming out this year. And my God, people love that man. Like people died in the crowd watching this man. Like, you know what I'm saying? When Michael Jackson comes out, you're gonna see multiple people going cosplaying
I forgot
as
all about that.
Michael.
My wife wants to see that too. So yeah.
Yeah, Michael Jackson is gonna clear the movie slate. The only thing that may
So
hold Avengers from hitting a Billy is Doom.
it's
Doom.
not going to listen. Look, I just did some math.
Yeah.
I just did some math on the internet. So looking at all the Spider-Man movies, like you said, actually two of them hit a bill.
Oh, they.
It was Spider-Man No Way Home and Spider-Man Far From Home, but each of them was Spider-Man No Way Home almost made two.
Ooh.
Avengers, Endgame. Endgame grossed almost over $2.5 billion. So it's $2,800,000. Like I'm saying, like whatever it is, like it actually hit way bigger. So now if Endgame, you got to think about it in relation to those two things. If Endgame did that with all of the buildup to that point, what's stopping? What's stopping Doomsday to hit 3 billion?
uh, no build up. People not caring for the past how many years in the last phases.
You think so?
People, yes, people not being excited. People already being worried. The movie, the thing with Doomsday, which I don't think you can compare. Doomsday, you didn't have to think if it was going to be good. This movie has to perform as a film.
Boo.
Yes, I think that Doomsday has to perform so that people talk about it as well. That they want to see it more than once. If it's slop, people are not seeing this more than once.
Listen,
It's
Blue. That's all you only need to do is see it one. Listen, Look,
that is not true. To make billions, you know, to
globally,
brother, to make billions, people need to see this like 3 times. That's how you make that money. You go watch it over and over and over.
I'm gonna say this real quick. You got Wonder Man. You got Wonder Man that has zero buildup, zero type of marketing, zero marketing. It's one of the highest Marvel TV shows on Rotten Tomatoes. One of the highest.
And you proving my point because what? It was good.
No, but right? How would we know that unless we watched it? There was no buildup. It's only good because we watched it. Listen,
that's what I'm saying, right? So if you go watch it, right? I think you're trying to argue instead of listening.
No.
You go watch it.
Because listen, Doomsday was brought last year. Like, what was it? Last year was when they did the SD. No, it was what was it? Not SDCC. It was Sandy. It was Sandy. It was San Diego. It was SDCC. SDCC was when they actually announced it, and it erupted, bro. I feel like we're missing something. The buildup is there right now. What they're doing is they're not putting. Of course, they're not putting a lot into it because they already did the big buildup. They got the interest there. Period. They got the interest there. And what they did was they showed who was going to be in the movie. They showed who was going to be in there. So everybody that actually followed the franchise, they're going to want to see exactly what part did they play in this movie. Wonder Man, we had nothing to go off of. Zero. And what did we do? We still showed up and saw the movie. The interest is already played out. It's going to be over a year that the interest is there. That people are going to flock because they're going to want to know whether it's going to flop or if it's going to be what they expected. They're going to go to the movies regardless to see it. I don't think that this is not going to hit. This is going to easily hit $1 billion. Easy, I think. Easy.
I'm gonna be honest. Think about this. I don't think there's a movie coming out in 2026 that people are more excited for than Avengers Doomsday. Unless you're talking about, like, think about it. Who's out there saying right now, like, super over the moon about Clayface or Supergirl or Dune? You know what I'm saying? People's main focus is Spider-Man and Avengers. That's their main focus. But now you have a grounded Spider-Man movie. It's not going to be multiversal. It's not going to be, you know what I'm saying? I believe it's going to be. Whew. And guess what? Spider-Man is going to lead into Doomsday because I'm 100% sure that Shorty that's playing from Stranger Things in Spider-Man, I'm 100% sure that's Jean Grey. She got to be playing Jean Grey. I don't
think so.
They say her powers is mind control. That she can make Spider-Man forget one of her lines. They said in the trailer that's popping off that what's Eris reported because he said he's seen it. Mm-hmm. He said, "I'll make you forget. I'll make your friend." No, what was his lines? Somebody quote me. He said in the trailer we're gonna hear her say, "I'll make you forget who you are," basically telling them like she has some type of power to make her forget. Who could do that?
Look, this is going to be the second episode, right? We're going to have to revisit this. What we're going to do is we're going to come back to this conversation later. So that's good. This is great because we're having a conversation about it, but now we can revisit it later. All right, sure. What we got next up?
All right, so now we're going to move on to the animation side of things and video games. As we already covered comic books, we covered movies, so now shows and video games, right? As far as video games go, we've heard a lot of talk about the Wolverine release, and Insomniac has been doing amazing when it comes to Marvel video games. They hit it out the park with both Spider-Man 1 and 2, Miles Morales Spider-Man, and their next focus is on Wolverine and a Venom video game. Now, people are speculating that they could be leading up to a Fantastic Four video game, and they already said it. They want to build a universe in Insomniac when it comes to Marvel video games. Now, if they do that, and the Fantastic title is already rumored to come out, Wolverine's ready to come out, Venom, they're already working on 3 projects, right? Well, 2 projects for sure. Venom and Wolverine will drop this year, later on this year. Venom will probably drop 2027. Fantastic Four is still rumored. But let me ask you, gentlemen, something. Who would you like them to adapt into this world that they're building next? Who do you want to see a video game focused on? Me, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I know we're already getting a Black Panther and Captain America video game, but it's not set in the same universe. I'm gonna say it, man. Give me Black Panther. Like you said, Bluejack, I want to see the world of Wakanda. I want to see him interact. I know usually with these Insomniac maps, we get New York only, and they do a phenomenal job of representing all five boroughs and having you travel and all that stuff with Spider-Man and swing around. But it's time for a world map, man. Give me a world map with Black Panther and let me handle business, not just in Wakanda, in the United States, Russia, here, like an international. And at some point, let's go intergalactic. You know what I'm saying? But let me know how y'all feel. What would y'all want to see birthed in this universe?
I think you picked the perfect person. Is Black Panther. I mean, the world, the amount of immersive environments that you can create for Wakanda is incredible. But personally, I don't. Personally, I wouldn't want to play an individual character anymore. I want Ultimate Alliance to come back. You know what I'm saying? Like I want that to come back. Ultimate Alliance is one of the best Marvel games I've ever played in my life. Like Alliance was one of those movies, one of those games that took every single place. Like Wakanda was featured in there too, like heavy. You know what I'm saying? But it's like they took all of their significant like places and they put it into the game. And the storyline and everything was incredible. But if they remake or expand on that, the Marvel Ultimate Alliance, that's perfection for me.
I ain't gonna lie, man. You got me hyped with that because Ultimate Alliance was my joint. Blue.
Hey, I talk a lot of trash, but this game would be absolutely peak world breaking. Give me X-Men, open world. You can switch with characters. You can have multiplayer. People can join on your team, and y'all can run around the world together. You can traverse. You can fly. You got the freaking the plant. You got all of that. Give me X-Men with a wide variety of villains. Give me some DLC. You dang near got GTA and Marvel, bro. And you can add characters. Oh, X Men would go crazy. We ain't had an X Men game since what? The Fox movies?
Yeah,
Go
it's been a while,
crazy, bro.
man.
You can pick who you want. You got the heavy hitters. You got all the powers. Come on, man. Crazy work.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie, man. Y'all gotta step y'all shit up because it's time for an open world, multiple, like an MMO type game. I think that is due for that, man. It's due for a Marvel one. Even with creating characters, like let me create my own Marvel superhero and just hang out in the world and meet other players online and stuff like that. Like what DC did it before. What was the name of
Yeah,
it?
DC Universe.
DC Universe, like do something like that, but for Marvel updated. I think that would go crazy. But gentlemen, man, ladies, that has been our show for the evening, man. If y'all watching, man, I hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We have memberships, giveaways, all that good stuff going on. And if you want to catch the pod earlier than expected on its release date, join the membership. You're gonna get to see exclusive content early and join in the conversation with us. We are thinking about doing it live. Let us know in the comments how you feel about that. If you would like us to go live and interact with y'all, do Q&As, stuff like that. Ask us about comics, movies, video games, all that good stuff. We love it all. Now, Blue Jack, let them know where to follow you at.
Hey man, your boy Blue Jack. Oh, your boy Blue Jack. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok. Blue Jack. I'm there, man. Appreciate the love.
Galactus, let them know where they can find you at.
And TikTok and Instagram at Galactus Photog. Let's go.
And all links will be provided for y'all in the comment section below or in the description. Make sure you follow up and please go support us, man. We got amazing content for you. You'll see new comic book day stuff, unbox me's. You'll see all types of great content, reviews, reactions on all the latest comments coming out from indies, Marvel, DC. I'm surprised we didn't talk about no indies today, man. We'll make sure we'll touch on that next show. It's been heavy on the Marvel and DC today. We'll make sure that we talk about some indie stuff coming up. This later on this week is gonna be a great week for indies. Oh man, we should have talked about the Invincible team ups covers that came out and stuff. There was some wonderful covers that's dropping.
Oh yeah.
My God, I pre-ordered like almost everyone. Like I went crazy. But let us know in the comment section, what do you want us to cover? Who's your favorite superhero? And all the above, man. Until next time, please don't forget to love yourself, pass that love on, and love others. And if nobody told you so, just know your boy love you. Voice of the Heroes, Uncaped. I think I said that right for the first time. If y'all don't know, I've been that's an inside joke for those who know. Don't well, no, I've been messing up on the name, so it's Uncaped. So make sure y'all check that out. Don't go looking for Uncapped. All right, search in the bar, UNCAPED, not PP. I did make a mistake across a couple of media sites, so if you see Uncapped, just don't worry about that. It is Uncaped. All right. See y'all later. Y'all have a great day. Voice of the Heroes signing out.
Peace.
Fellas, man, good show. Good show. I did think about that